Good morning, all my blade fellows. Today we will have a look at these two very useful, small and also very beautiful knives that come from the snowy, icy regions of Northern Europe. It is this HultaFors Grov Kniven, or you may also know it as a heavy-duty knife from HultaFors. And the small comparison, this Marttiini knife that's called the Ilves knives. And Ilves means lynx. Yeah? And to me, the HultaFors carries the heritage of this very traditional design of the Finnish people. Yeah, the hunters working with the reindeers on the sledge. And this is a very traditional approach of a useful hunter's knife. Let's compare them both. You see, they both have the straight spine and very similar tip design. The HultaFors blade is a little bit wider. Both have almost the same length, but the blade length on the Marttiini knife is a little bit longer, about 11 centimeters, and here it's 9.5 centimeters approximately. But therefore the grip on the HultaFors is longer, and that's very suitable for large hands. What also struck my mind is the design here of the butt design of the end of the grip. This looks really very similar. You can recognize, I hope. As far as construction of the knife is concerned, the Grov Kniven is very easy. It's just a carbon steel blade, and the grip, the synthetic plastic grip, is molded directly onto the steel. Here with the Marttiini knife we have a more traditional approach. I think it's a red tail design, and the grip, beautiful grip made of beech wood, is riveted onto the blade here. Yeah, so, and believe me, this is a really sharp blade. You can get this slim blade up to a really razor sharpness. Yeah. The grip on the HultaFors is longer, so I like it. You can grip it with huge hands, and you probably know that the HultaFors is a big favorite knife for hiking people, for outdoor people. You can do a lot of stuff with this knife, sturdy knife. Yeah, here in the upper part of the grip, okay, the HultaFors is a modernized version because it prevents your index finger from sliding forward. Here it's a very it has no guard, so you have to be careful not to slide on the blade. But if you use it in a sensible way, then it's very safe also, this knife. I mean, it's not a combat knife, yeah, but it's a working knife for hunters, for skinning deer or whatever. So you have to keep in mind its purpose. Let's also have a look at the sheath of these two knives. The old and traditional Marttiini has this beautiful leather sheath. Here it says Marttiini, Rovaniemi, and Rovaniemi is the place in northern Finland where the forge of this knife is, and it has nice motif on here. It's a guy sitting on a sledge that is carried by a reindeer. so it's probably a Lapland hunter. Yeah, and a guy named Marttiini founded the Marttiini forge in the year 1928, and the design, the blade and knife design, goes way back even longer. So very traditional small hunter's knife for skinning deer and other purposes. The Brooks is the modern version and comes with a very simple plastic sheath. I mean, the sheath is simple, but it serves its function. Here you can read it: heavy duty knife from HultaFors. Yeah, it's simple, but it is not bad, because you can just put in the knife and the knife is very secure, won't drop out, so it serves its function well. I really recommend that you get HultaFors Grov Kniven, because it's really value for money. You get the knife for under $10 and you have a blade of nearly 4 inches and a thickness of 3 millimeters, and you can use it for many purposes. And you know, the reason why I'm a big fan of the HultaFors knife is, you probably know that I'm a big fan of huge Bowie knives like this one. I really always prefer to have a large fixed blade knife with a blade of 10 inches or longer. And in my daily life I noticed when I do tasks like opening parcels or card boxes, then many times I just go back to my very cheap no-name folding knife. Cost about $5, and I use this most often for the simple tasks in life. So I prefer the Bowie knives, but I don't use them so often, maybe once in a year or so. And you know, the Bowies are fighters, and therefore the HultaFors Grobkniven fills a certain gap. The HultaFors Grobkniven fills a certain gap because you can use it for daily tasks, and it's small enough to carry it in your backpack. And another advantage that the knife has, the blade is not coated with any coating. And I mention this because, for instance, if you want to process some food, yeah, if you want to cut an apple or cut bread or cut sausages, then I would rather rely on a blade that's blank, that has no coating, because I don't like the idea of cutting my food with a coated blade. So of course you have to take a little bit care of it and oil it after you have used it, but when you process, then it's more recommendable to have a blade that's not coated. HultaFors Grobkniven. Have a nice day.